Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
You're listening to Believe You Me with Michael the Count Bisping.
You know my name yet?
And Anthony Lionheart Smith.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Believe You Me podcast. Do not adjust your screens. That is not Anthony Lionheart Smith. It is, of course, the one and only, the interim champion, Northwest, one of the finest. Big Tom Aspinall. By the way, we've got a stacked show for you planned all today. We've got Muhammad Mokaev joining us later as well. We'll be talking about Mark the Hammer Coleman. Did you see what happened with him, Tom?
I did. Apparently, I've got a very shiny forehead as well. I don't know why that is, but yeah. You
haven't got a makeup girl to powder you down.
No makeup girl around here, mate. We're in Wigan right now, so yeah, no makeup girls around.
You're the champion of the world, Tom.
Not going on. Anyway, more serious topic. Mark Coleman. Yes, I met Mark a few years ago. You were there, actually. This was at an expo in Manchester, if you remember.
Oh yeah, yep.
Fucking what a great guy. What a great guy he was and he is. And we've actually kept in touch since. Like, he's always dropping me messages and stuff, and just an awesome guy. And I just so upset when I found out about him. Like, the guy.
Yeah.
But hopefully he's on the other side of it now. Hopefully
he is. He's come round. He's out of the. He's awake. He's breathing. He's speaking to his family. And I think one of the first things. No, turn the light on, babe. I said. I texted to turn the fan off because it's freezing in here. And it clicks, click, 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 click. She turns the light off. Anyway, he's talking. And you know what he said? He said the best thing is he's so happy because he was able to save the life of his parents. I mean, that man, absolute goddamn legend. So shout out to Mark Coleman. Tom, you're the talk of the town all the time these days, being as you're the big time interim heavyweight champion. But last week, Curtis Blaydes was talking about you as well.
Yep. Yeah, I like it, mate. Like, it's in my next fight, as always, is in the hands of the UFC. I've never said no to a fight in my life, and I don't plan on starting now. You know what I mean? I've not got to this like top level and start to pick and choose people. Like, that's just not my style. If he wants it, as far as I'm concerned, I'm in. I've got a lot of respect for Curtis. Obviously, I would like to get that fight back. I've got a loss to him where I got injured, and I've got nothing against Curtis. I can't sit here and say like, oh, I don't like him, because, in all honesty, I do like him. He's a good guy. His team are nice people. His dad's a nice guy. Like, I have nothing bad to say about Curtis Blaydes personally. Professionally, I want to whoop him. Simple as that. I owe him one, and I would love to get it back. So if the UFC want to do it, I am more than up for doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said. He is a lovely guy. His entire team, they were nothing but respectful after, what went down between the two of you. I saw them afterwards. They weren't gloating or talking shit. But it does make a lot of sense, I guess, with you now being the interim champ. Now he's got a reason to want to fight you. You know what I'm saying? Because, if you were him, to be fair, you would understand the mindset of, well, I've already been there. I've been in there with him. I beat him. Call it what you will, right? But it's down in the history books as a win. But now, of course, you get a chance to run that one back and eradicate that kind of loss in some ways. If you were able to do that, would you see it like that? That you were able to set the record straight? Absolutely.
That's absolutely why this fight would make sense to me. Also, I know we've talked about it personally a little bit. Oh, shit.
Oh. Pets' heads are falling off.
It's wrestling like cactus, believe it or not.
Mate, listen, your camera's falling off. Rebecca's fiddling with this fan. You might have saw me a minute ago. I'm like, what are you doing? She came, she turned it off. Then she turned it back on again. I'm like, just turn the thing off. Then the cameras are going topsy-turvy. Anyway, what were you saying?
I've lost it now. Yeah, I mean, there's basically, at the minute, as I said, we spoke about it a bit, like, obviously away from the media personally, and at one point I was like, I should be fighting for the undisputed title next, and I'm not budging on that. And now I just think, actually, I want to make my own legacy, man. Like, I'm not going to wait for like something that's not happening forever. Like, look, just as an example, look what's going on with Michael Chandler at the moment. Do you know what I mean? The guy's been waiting forever. Good point. And I don't want to be. I mean, God love Michael Chandler, all respect to him. I've got nothing bad to say about the guy, but I don't want to be like Michael Chandler, just sat on the fence forever, waiting for a train that's never going to come. Like, I want to make my own legacy and be great on my own without having to, do anything, wait for anybody or anything like that. Like, if I want to be one of the best of all time, which I truly, truly believe that I can be, I've got to go and prove it, man. And I'm willing to do that.
It's great to hear you talk like that, Tom, because you're absolutely right. I mean, first of all, for Michael Chandler, I think we all kind of we feel for the guy. We don't feel sorry for him, but it's kind of a crappy situation because now he's at this point, and this is where you could potentially have ended up, where he's waited so long that you might as well carry on waiting. Do you know what I mean? Well, I've waited whatever it is, 14, 15 months, maybe even longer. At what point do you pull the trigger or pull the Band-Aid off and just say, screw it? You know what I mean? So you're doing the right thing because that fight, Jones or Stipe, whoever it is, you're the next guy. You know what I mean? So when it comes, it comes. In the meantime, you do what you said. You build your own legacy. You go out there. You make it clear that you are the best heavyweight, the guy that's fighting regularly, defending the spot that you have, the interim title. So, yeah, no, mate, it's great to hear. It really is. Do you think any idea when you and Curtis, or number one, have the UFC been in touch with you about that?
Not yet, but I don't know what they're going to do. Who knows? Like I say, my kind of next move is in the UFC's hands. I don't know. I'm ready to go whenever. You know me, Mike. I'm training all the time. I'm at the gym as we speak, ready to train after this interview. So I trained this morning. I've been training twice a day, mate, since my last fight. So I'm improving all the time. The more time they give me, the more time I've got to improve. Simple as that.
You are a consummate professional, Tom, and I do really respect that about you. How's the old man doing? How's Andy?
He's all right, mate. He's doing good.
Yeah?
He's loving it. He's just getting on with his normal stuff. Yeah, he's loving it.
Is he getting stopped in the streets as well these days?
Yeah, I think he has been a little bit. Yeah, he has been. I don't really go anywhere to get stopped, to be honest. I just do my normal thing. So it's like,
come on.
I ain't the kind of guy. I ain't popping bottles on the yacht and doing all that shit. Like, no, I'm here to be the best. That's it.
Well, you are here to be the best, and you're not popping bottles and champagne. Popping bottles of champagne on a yacht. But the last I saw, Tom, you were rolling around the streets of England in a tank with strongman Eddie Hall. Come on, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, Eddie has been training MMA a little bit with us. Yeah. As you know, we have a team of exclusively heavyweights. So Eddie is obviously a big, strong, heavy guy. So Eddie's been coming down doing a little bit of training because he was going to have an MMA fight and then he got cancelled and now I think he's got another one rescheduled or something. I don't know. So me and Eddie got a little bit friendly. Yeah, we're mates now, me and Eddie. And done a bit of YouTubing and whatnot together. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, I saw that video that you did. Were you trying to eat what he eats in a day?
Yes. Yeah.
Because I didn't watch the whole thing because it was long. I kind of skimmed through it a little bit. And for those that don't know, Eddie Hall is one of the world's best strongmen. Is he the strongest man in the world officially?
He was.
Was he?
I mean, it's year to year, isn't it? So for 1 year, he was. But then he's retired from strongman now. But
in an arm wrestling match. In an arm wrestling match.
He did.
No, do you reckon you could take him?
I don't. No.
Okay. Did I just hear him fart?
No, it was my phone vibrated.
Oh, your phone vibrated.
That keeps going on in interviews. People are like, what's going on with Tom farting in interviews?
I just I'm like, bloody hell, Tom. Too many protein shakes with Eddie Hall. How much food does he get through in a day then? Tell me about this challenge that you did.
I don't know. He says 10,000 calories, right? Now, I am a little bit skeptical of Eddie's diet, to be honest. For someone who's training MMA, I don't think that is possible to eat that much. Because MMA, be a strongman, I don't know much about strongman, so I have no idea. But if you're eating 10,000 plus calories a day and training MMA workouts, mate, are very intense. I don't have to tell you that. MMA workouts are very, very intense. If you're training hard once, twice a day, 3 times a day sometimes, and you're putting all that calories in your body Your body's working overtime. You're heavy. You feel like shit. You're sluggish as hell. Like, I don't think that's very... It doesn't help. Doesn't help, I don't think.
Yeah, you never want to go to the gym when you've got a full stomach like that. Certainly if you're sparring or doing jiu-jitsu or just anything, really. But I've got no experience on that. For me, I was always calorie deficient because I was always trying to lose weight. Obviously, as a heavyweight, it's not a problem that you have, you lucky bastard. I used to be starving throughout an entire training camp. Tom, we had Francis Ngannou go up against Anthony Joshua last week. I think in hindsight, people weren't surprised, right? Francis did phenomenally well against Tyson Fury. And then against Anthony Joshua, it kind of looked like now maybe Tyson didn't apply himself in that training camp. What did you think when you watched it?
I wasn't surprised, of course, like it's heavyweight combat sports. If you get whacked with from a guy that size, like obviously you're going unconscious. I did think Ngannou would have done a little bit better against him. Like I did. See, I mean, I'm a bit of a YouTube wanker now, man. Like, yeah, I'm doing
you're not a YouTube wanker. You're a man. You're a real man. Okay, the only real men can get on YouTube like this, bro.
I'm doing shit on YouTube, and I made a little prediction video, and I said, for me, it was kind of like a 50-50 fight, and then obviously everyone jumps on the comments, all these experts after Francis Ngannou's been knocked out, like, you MMA guys don't know anything about boxing. Look, mate, that could have gone either way. Do you know what I mean? Two massive guys. Obviously, the odds are favouring Anthony Joshua. The guy's a boxer. But if Francis Ngannou whacked him, he could have dropped him as well. So I wasn't all that surprised.
Yeah. But I think for me, and I talked about this, so I don't want to go on about it too long, but I think the difference is obviously Francis Ngannou, of course, he has the power. If he'd have connected, he could have done that. You know, but a boxer, and you know, Tom, you've been around pro boxing, you've had a pro boxing match, and you're a fighter, a very good one. In your mind, when you're fighting, it's not just all about landing the biggest shots. We've all got the athletic ability to throw a combination skillfully or whatever. But the true elites, somebody like Anthony Joshua, they have the ability to slow it down in their mind and really see the opening. You know, not just throwing enough punches and hoping something gets through. You got to set it up. You got to see the opening. And I think Anthony Joshua was just taking his time, seeing what Francis was going to give him and saying, right, okay, all right, there it is. There's the opening. All right, bosh. Because it was almost the first shot that he threw. Do you know what I mean? So I think that was the difference there. So I think because, hey, listen, I was like you. I was all in. I actually thought Ngannou was going to go out there and do it. After watching what he did against Tyson Fury, I just got carried away with the romance of it all. I'm like, this is unbelievable what he's doing. There's no stopping this guy. And then, of course, he gets flatlined pretty quickly. But yeah, I wanted to get your take on that. I also want to know your take on this. Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, legendary fighter, one of the best to ever partake in the sport. He thinks that Anthony Joshua could beat Francis Ngannou in an MMA fight.
Oh, that is surprised. That has surprised me. I can see why he said that with Francis Ngannou's style, because he does predominantly throw hands in MMA. But it's not to say, like, I would have thought someone like him would have been a little bit more, I don't know, maybe he might be saying it for headlines. You never know. He might be saying it for headlines. You know what it's like. But just because you don't use it in your fight doesn't mean that you can't do it, if that makes sense. Like, there's a million things that I've not done in my fights that I can do really well. Do you know what I mean? That I can do really well in the gym, but I've not had the opportunity to show them in my fights. Just because Francis Ngannou doesn't throw a lot of kicks in his fights doesn't mean that he doesn't have the ability to throw kicks well, if that makes sense. So I can see why he said it, because Francis Ngannou is definitely predominantly a puncher in MMA. But I don't doubt that Francis leg kicks hard. I don't doubt that if Francis gets on top of you, it's hard to escape.
And he did take Cyril Gane down multiple times.
And squashed him for 5 rounds for 25 minutes, near enough. Yeah. He had a lot of top time in that fight. So I can see where he's coming from in one sense, but I don't think that's very realistic, to be honest.
As you say, just because he's never done it in a fight doesn't mean he hasn't got it. It's like me. I mean, I've got some bloody ridiculously world-class jiu-jitsu, but I never submitted anyone in the UFC. I'd get you in a Kimura pretty easily. I've just never shown the world. You know what I mean?
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
I've got a nasty Kimura, Tom.
I've got defense, bro. I've got defense.
I just had to say that because you're like Bisping. He's always trying to fight me or whatever. Oh dear. So what else is going on, Tom? So you're going to be traveling a little bit next in the coming soon, coming
a little
weeks.
bit. It's not all confirmed yet. It's not all confirmed, but yeah, just mix things up a little bit. Do a little media tour maybe, and travel the world a little bit, see what's going on. I don't know. You never know, mate. Things are changing from one minute to the next, aren't they? When you're fighting, 1 minute they want to send you one place, and we want to send you another. Then you've got to go here and train. And I'd like to get a few. As a professional athlete, we do carry injuries as well, of course. Nothing serious at all, but I'd like to get them looked at and stuff. And yeah, just doing the same old shit, really, Mike.
You're going to swing by the PI.
I'd like to swing. I'd like to swing by the PI a little bit and get a few stuff looked at. Yeah.
Stopping by Los Angeles at all on your journeys?
Why are you going to wine and dine me? Mike?
Well, I won't wine and dine you. That sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? But I will escort you out to it. That sounds weird. I shall take you out for a pleasant steak and a glass of wine. Yeah, no, I'd love to, Tom. Come on, man. You're in my backyard. If you came to my backyard and you never messaged me.
Of course, I'm always messaging. Of course,
what a prick. What a prick. I come to Manchester. I take you and your dad out. I pay the bill. You come to LA. You don't even shoot me a message.
I'll message you.
I'd be seriously offended.
If I'm in LA, mate, you'll be getting a message. Don't worry about
that. UFC 300, you're going to be there for that. What are your thoughts on that, Tom?
Good card. Definitely. Can't deny that it's a good card. Is it the best card ever? On paper? No. Let's not beat around the bush. It's not the best card ever. Is it an amazing card? Absolutely. I was hoping for a couple of... I would have liked seeing someone like Brock Lesnar thrown back in, to be honest. I thought that would have been funny. Or maybe
did you see that video I did? I said Tom Aspinall, Brock Lesnar.
I was trying to get some legs on that fight at one point, and it just weren't happening. Just no one was having it. So yeah, I would have liked to see something like that, but yeah, I'm really excited for it, mate. It's going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, it's mental, to be honest. I understand what you're saying. Maybe not the best ever. Maybe it isn't, but it's bloody good. 3 title fights if you include the BMF, and then just loads of former champions, Charles Oliveira, Yuri, bloody top to bottom. Alex Perez in the main event. There was a period there that you thought that he was trying to have a go at you, that you thought he was going to come up to heavyweight. Was that ever a ball that was kicked around?
It was, to be honest. We did a little bit of flirting with the idea. I was more interested than him, it seemed.
Well, he seems very uninterested in everything.
Yeah. It just seemed he wants to go to. Long story short, it turns out he wants to go to heavyweight. Doesn't want to go to heavyweight yet. So that's all we can do.
Okay. So he's saying that in the future he does want to compete at heavyweight, just not yet. All right, I like that, because one would assume that in 2 years, Tommy Aspinall is still going to be champion of the world, buddy.
I think so.
The nerve of this guy, Tom? The nerve of this guy.
Alex Perez.
Who's he think he is?
The guy's a 2-weight world champion. You can't deny his skill level, but
I'm just trying to get you to talk some shit, Tom.
I'm not going to talk shit to nobody, mate. I have nothing bad to say about Alex.
So no, of course, no, nothing bad at all. The man's a legend. He's absolutely phenomenal. I've never had a conversation with him. I've saw him. I've said hi a couple of times, but never. And I know he doesn't speak English, but I've never spoken to him. What else is new, Tom? What have you been doing? As the champion of the world, I know you're getting wined and dined. You're going on TV shows. You're driving around in tanks. What else has been new?
Mate, honestly, I'd love to come up with some crazy, exciting story for you, but nothing's been going on. I've just been in the gym. I've just been in the gym twice a day. Honestly, I feel like to be at the top level, you need to lead like quite a mundane and boring lifestyle. And I've been doing that for quite a long time now. I'm accustomed to it. Like, that's what I do is I'll get up in the morning, I train, I come back, I sleep, I eat, I train again. Like, there's nothing spectacularly exciting going on. Anything that's exciting, mate, it's documented. It's on my YouTube channel. Do you know what I mean? It's on social media, so it might look like I'm doing all this stuff. I'm dead busy in that, but ultimately I'm not. I'm in the gym. I'm working hard. I'm resting from my sessions. I'm stretching. I'm seeing the physio. I'm eating healthy. I'm doing all the boring, mundane shit that it takes to be the best in the world.
And that's exactly what it is. That's what it takes. You know what I mean? Once you start getting, I was never that guy either. I lived coming from Clitheroe until I moved out here, middle of nowhere, essentially. Do you know what I mean? So I wasn't living any kind of lifestyle like that. If you just keep a nice, normal routine, you know what I mean? I mean, listen, for Conor McGregor, it's a bit different because he's Conor McGregor. He's one of the most famous faces on the bloody planet, and he's got absolutely ridiculous money. But it sounds like you're doing the right thing, Tom. Proud of you, mate. Proud of you.
Like, this is what got me to the dance, so you got to maintain it. And to be honest, I've upped it even more. Like, I'm seeking out constantly the best training partners. I'm seeking out being uncomfortable in the gym. I'm seeking out better ways to recover. I'm seeking out better ways to be healthy and recover my body and keep myself healthy. And I'm just doing everything I can, mate, just to be the best version of myself that I can be.
You touched on something there, the recovery. I get asked all the time if there's one piece of advice I could give my younger self. And it's always the same thing. Focus on the recovery, the stretching you mentioned before. Because my body's a bloody mess these days. You know what I mean? I'm probably going to need a few more surgeries. I just found that I might need a hip replacement. I need surgery on my wrist, but I'm in constant pain with my wrist, but it's going to remove like 30% strength and stability. So this doctor said, put it off as long as you can. Obviously the eyeball, but he can't breathe through my nose. So you're doing the right thing, Tom. You got to look after your body, man, because when you're young, you feel like you're invincible and it doesn't matter. And after every training session, I just wanted to get out of there. You know what I mean? You go and you work your ass off and then, right, that's it. Come on, let's go and eat, shower up and let's go. Yeah, you got to do the recovery, man. You're doing the right thing, Tom.
Yeah, and I was exactly the same, like, until maybe I got in the UFC, maybe even later than that. I used to just think, right, as long as I train hard, that's all I need. And it's not. It's just not. There's so much more to it. And especially now I'm not old by any stretch. I'm 31 next month. But, like, I want my career to be as long as possible. I love it. I absolutely love fighting. And I want this to go on, as long as I can stretch it on for, as long as I'm winning and I'm doing good and I'm healthy. Like, I want to keep it going because I enjoy it. So I'm trying to now buy myself as much time as I possibly can by doing stuff like recovery, getting massages, stretching, doing the physio, sleeping in the daytime. Like, so people don't even understand, mate. Like, all this stuff, it's all part of your job. Icing. You got to ice yourself after the sessions. You got to rub cream on yourself. You got to do all this kind of boring shit that, they're not even the 1%, mate. They're the 0.01%. And they're
the mid-afternoon naps. See, I got quite accustomed to the mid-afternoon naps.
I'm very accustomed, mate. Very accustomed.
And this is what I said to Rebecca, because I still have a mid-afternoon nap. And I'm like, well, babe, you see, for so many years, I was a warrior, and I needed those naps in between training sessions. And I just think it's built into my DNA now, babe. She's like, you're having another nap? I'm like, babe, come on, it's all those years. It's the muscle memory, you see. You say you're 31. I mean, you could go as a heavyweight 12, 13 years. I mean, that's a hell of a long time to be in the UFC.
That is pushing it out a bit, Mike. I don't know about that.
What, 43?
I mean, I guess I could, hopefully.
Of course you could.
God willing, I could, but I think late 30s, I'll get a good run in me now for like another 6-7 years. Mate, like I said, I'll finish, mate, when I stop enjoying it. And right now, I love it more than ever. I absolutely love it. Like, this is what I've built my whole life to get to this point right now. So I'm trying to enjoy it as much as I can. I'm trying to take it in. I'm trying to keep it going, more importantly. And I'm not, by no means am I getting complacent. Like, since I won the interim belt, I want more of it. I'm not like, mission completed, job done. Look what I've done, everybody. I'm the man. Yeah, I am the man, but I want to be the man for a long period of time. I don't want to be a flash in the pan, done, boom, crack on, look what he was. I want to be, this is the guy, this is the best ever. And now I'll enjoy my life when I stop enjoying it.
Does it frustrate you? Does it frustrate you at all? Because when you say that, I'm the man, right? And you are. But John Jones is the man if you will, right? And so some people sitting here, maybe in the comment section, we'll see them because you know what people are like in the YouTube comment section. Oh, he's sitting there saying he's the man. The real man is John Jones. Do comments like that annoy you? Does it frustrate you that you're not getting a chance yet to go out there and prove that?
Well, first of all, I'm not an idiot. Like, I'm aware that there's another guy there who is a champion, and that's why I want to fight him. It's not fucking rocket science. Do you know what I mean? I want to prove it. I just want the chance to prove it. And that offends people. And I don't know why. I can't get my head around that. I can't figure that out. But it does. For some reason, people get very offended when I say that I want to fight John Jones. And I don't know why it is. But I'm not going to harp on about it. Do you know what I mean? I've cried about it loads.
No, you've said your piece.
I don't want to keep banging on about it. But I want to be the guy.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Tom, and obviously don't expect you to talk about any numbers or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But in your position, you've fought for it. You're now in a great position. You're the interim heavyweight champion of the world in the UFC, right? So you're earning a very, very handsome living these days. Things go to plan for you for the next few years. You know, you've kind of, I remember we're from the same part of the world. We've got similar kind of backgrounds, working class families in Lancashire. But when I got to that stage, I was like, wow, shit, I can't believe this. Look where I've come. Look how far I've come. Look at what I've managed to achieve and the life I can now afford to give to my family. Do you ever sit back sometimes and think, wow, look how far I've come? You know, when you came on here and when you were working on the doors and you saw that guy bite the guy's nose off, you know, did you ever think that one day you'd be sitting here in this position? I mean, of course, I know you would have been ambitious, but to turn it all into a reality, you did it.
You know what? I think I did see it. I did think that this is what I was going to get. And obviously, I'm very, very grateful for it. Very. But you know what, Mike? I think, in a way, you need to give yourself a lot of credit for it, because it's people like you who fucking open the door for people like me. And hopefully, people like me are going to open the door for other people. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. If I can be like the tiniest, teeniest, weeniest part of someone's success, who's 16 years old right now, the way I was 16 years old looking at you, like that, and even beyond fighting, even beyond, like, I want to do what you're doing now when I'm retired. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's hard to do when no one has done it before from where you're from. So for you to be able to do it with nobody really to have the blueprint, like, that's really impressive. And yeah, I'm always looking up to Mike constantly, as you know.
Well, thank you, Tom, and it truly does mean the world to me. But we're here to talk about you, buddy. So for me, though, going back to my experiences, so for a while, because as I said, growing up for me, money was tight, and then I left school at 16. You know, we were broke, and I got into this because it was my best skill, fighting, competing. I was a fighter, so I wanted to make money for my family. But I was always kind of like suffering with imposter syndrome. You know what I mean? That at some point, you know, it's all going to collapse. It's all going to go wrong. I'm going to get cut from the UFC. Before I know it, I'm going to be back down the job center, applying for some shitty factory job, and it will be a little flash in the pan, a little blip on the timeline of my life. And I remember I was driving past the King's Arms in Clitheroe, the local pub where I used to hang out. It was actually the pub that I last got arrested in. And I was driving past there, and in my nice brand new Audi S5, you know what I mean? I drove past it and I saw the pub, and I was like, and I just went, just to myself, yes! Because I was like, I fucking done it. I've left that life behind, you know what I mean? Now I allowed myself to think maybe this will be my future. Do you ever have any thoughts like that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, definitely. Like you say, it's a tough road to be a professional mixed martial artist who's making good money. It's not. It doesn't just happen on its own. By no stretch of the imagination does that happen. Like, it's the 0.1% of people actually make a living out of professional mixed martial arts. Never mind be able to look after the family and stuff like that. So I feel like I'm very, very grateful and blessed that I'm able to do that. And yeah, every day. Sometimes, mate, like my training partners and and my coach and stuff like that. Some of them are literally my family, and some of them are as close to me as my family are. And sometimes I'll just be like sat round in the morning after training, you're feeling great after training, and I'm just looking around and I'm just thinking, these are like my best friends and family, and I get to spend every day with them rather than getting up and doing something I don't like. Do you know what I mean? And that never gets old for me. Like, that absolutely never gets old.
Yeah, you're right. And that's kind of what I miss, the camaraderie of it all. You know what I mean? Being in the gym with the team and my coaches and my training partners, and then going off to the fight venue, wherever that was. That's definitely what I miss about it, the brotherhood. You know what I mean? What would you say, Tom, to any young men out there or women, that may be stuck in a rut right now? The life isn't going their way. Have you got any words of wisdom for them, or any kind of advice you could offer anyone?
I think you should find your passion if you don't already know it. If you don't know what your passion is, try different stuff and try it out. Once you find it, go for it. And don't let people tell you otherwise. Because, and especially this is something that I'm learning, when you start getting success, people start getting pissed off with you. Don't know why that is. That's human nature. You got to keep pushing through that.
They love you on the way up.
Yeah, exactly.
And then as soon as you get to the top, they start talking shit.
As soon as you start doing better than people don't like it, mate. Simple as that. And you got to just keep pushing on. You got to forget about that and keep doing it for you. And fucking enjoy yourself along the way as well. Because I think a lot of people put a lot of pressure on what they're doing. And I've been guilty of that, like myself, of putting too much pressure on myself a lot over the years. And enjoy it, man, because we get one go at this. Whatever it is that you choose, whether it's MMA, whether you're a banker, whether you're a vet, whether you are trying to be a doctor or whatever, like, enjoy yourself, because you only get one go at it. So try your best and enjoy it.
And that's a very, very important thing, because so many people, I mean, I used to do it, you're stuck in jobs, and then some people maybe don't have the option. But if you are literally miserable doing a job that you hate, a dead-end job that no one respects you, no one cares, and a lot of people are in that position, and if you quit, fine, they'll just fill the hole. You're just a number to them. You got to move on. You got to move on, because as you say, you only get one life. You know what I mean? If you're spending it bloody miserable, and it sounds like we might be sitting here from privileged positions, I understand not everyone has those kind of options, but you're absolutely right, Tom. Absolutely right. Harrington, jump on real quick before we let Tom go. By the way, Tom, any idea when you will be back in there? Any dates at all?
I have no idea right now. Oh, hello, Harrington. Lovely to see you.
You're on mute again. He does this every time. Just lately.
While he's on mute, I've got to tell you, though, I am.
Go on, then tell me.
My coach is out there waiting for me, but we've got to be quick here.
Well, tell him to piss off. Who is it?
He's not listening.
Is it Andy?
No, it's my S&C coach.
What's his name?
Jamie.
Well, tell Jamie he can f*** off.
I've told him 3 times.
Tell him he's speaking to the UK pioneer, the former champ, the first champ. Okay? Have a bit of respect. How about that, Jamie?
Well, what time is it now?
I was going to say, where are you? You didn't look like you were at home. That'll do then, Tom. See, in the meantime, hopefully Harrington can sort his bloody microphone out. Tom, you're the man. Always love talking to you, buddy. And yeah, hopefully see you when you come over to LA. Or I'll see you in Vegas anyway, regardless.
Yeah, we'll see you. I'll see you soon.
Thanks for your time, Tom. Take care, mate. All right, guys, let's talk about Prize Picks, because Prize Picks are America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 3 million members. And they really are the easiest form of daily fantasy sports that you can play. It's just you against the numbers. It couldn't be any easier. You can now 100x your money with just as little as 4 correct picks. You could turn $10 into $1,000. Okay. And it's just simple. You just say more or less, that easy. This weekend, we got some basketball action. We've got the Suns taking on the Celtics. Okay. So let's talk about 3 players that will be competing this weekend. Kevin Durant, is he going to get more or less than 27.5 points? Okay. Jason Tatum, more or less than 29.5 points. And Bradley Beal, will he get more or less than 1.5 3-pointers? There you go. It really is simple. Even a moron like me could do it. By the way, you can get quick withdrawals easy gameplay, and an enormous section of plays and stat types are what makes Prize Picks the number one daily fantasy sports app. Prize Picks is really simple to play. As I say, you just pick more or less. It offers Apple Pay for quick and easy deposits into your account this football, basketball, UFC season. Whatever it is, check it out with prizepicks.com. So go to prizepicks.com, use the code BELIEVE. You're going to get a first deposit match of up to $100. Prizepicks.com. The code is BELIEVE. Prizepicks.com/BELIEVE for a deposit match of up to $100. All right, Harrington, do you have a voice?
I do. The voice of the voiceless. I'm here.
There we go. Good to see you, brother. Big thanks to Tom Aspinall. Shortly, we've got Muhammad Mokaev joining us that was victorious recently. But speaking of victories, none bigger than what UFC legend, Hall of Famer, the godfather of ground and pound, Mark Coleman. Mm-hmm. We touched on it a little bit with Tom, but we didn't really get into it. So there was a house fire where he was asleep. His mum and dad were in bed. The dog wakes him up, licking his face or whatever, pouring at him because the house was on fire. And then he wakes up, goes upstairs, saves his mum and dad, carries them out of the house apparently, then went back in to save the dog, which he did, but then he collapsed and then he was rescued by firemen. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, airlifted out to the hospital from the scene.
Wow. So he was unconscious, smoke inhalation, and that's like that's generally what people die from. It's not from being burned alive. They usually die way before flames get to them because of the smoke inhalation. But he just came back round. The first words he said, it was the happiest day of his life or something because he got to save his mum and dad. In fact, Brian, have we got a video, please? Oh, bless.
I'm the happiest man in the world. I swear to God, I'm so lucky. I can't believe my parents are alive.
Oh, that's amazing, man. That's amazing.
God, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful. And it just goes to show, so, times like that, nothing else matters. All this bullshit, the rat race that human beings are in. Obviously, we've all got to pay our bills and we're trying to work and we're trying to make money. But family, that's all that matters at the end of the day. When it's all said and done, your loved ones, your people around you. He was able to save his parents, and then that's his daughters with him. And obviously they're feeling the same way because the father's just come around. It could have been a lot worse. Yeah, man. Absolutely beautiful. Well done, Mark Coleman. That man is a real life hero.
Yeah, and that's got to strike you too. Like the processing how important it was for you to save your parents and then having your own children come in to see you and what it means that you're alive another day to see them. That'll hit you right here. That was powerful stuff.
No, it really was. It got me thinking, real life hero. What other UFC fighters have had heroic circumstances? I know Kevin Holland, he was talking recently about how he disarmed a guy in like a diner or something, right?
Yeah, there was that. There was the people who were robbing the woman that he stopped on the street. He's a real life superhero.
Yeah. Well, that's the kind of the theme I'm going down. What was that Brazilian? She was a female fighter, I think. Someone tried to steal a phone and she beat them all.
Vienna.
Pollyanna, look at Harrington. He knows all the women.
I got another one. John Jones, the day he won the title from Shogun, beating up those guys who stole a GPS out of a woman's car.
Oh, really? I never heard about that one.
Yeah, it was in Newark, New Jersey. He was at a local park. He was meditating under a tree and he heard some kind of commotion. He runs up there with the whole Jackson Wink team at the time, finds some guy breaking into a woman's car, beats the crap out of him, holds him there until cops show up, and then about 4 hours later won the undisputed light heavyweight title.
I mean, that is badass. I mean, Big Tom, we love you, buddy, but until you start saving people fight week, you're not in the same realm or hemisphere as John Jones. Is there any others? You seem to have them all off the top of your head.
Brendan Schaub, remember that woman was in like a burning car wreck or something and he pulled her out of it?
That's right. Now, apparently people came out and said that was bullshit. I don't know why. I mean, that's some elaborate bullshitting if you're going to go to those kind of lengths.
That's just the haters, B.
No, B. Is that what you're calling me now?
Yeah, Bisping, B.
Excuse me. Excuse-moi. Yeah, so well done to Mark Coleman and his whole family. When he recovers, I would love to get him on the show and talk to him about that. We had him on before, right?
We had Mark on when we had Chris Weidman on the phone, and Mark happened to just drive up in his pickup next to Weidman, and he came on for a couple of seconds with us.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. No, it wasn't. Who was it? It was wasn't Chris Weidman. Who was it? It was
it
Matt
Frevola?
Brown. Matt Brown.
Matt Brown. You're right.
Matt Brown.
Matt Brown.
Anyway, so Sean Strickland is in the news right now. Sean Strickland says he's kind of demanding a rematch with Dricus du Plessis. He says, well, let me bring up the tweets here. He said, I lost a close decision that Dana White himself thought I won. Everybody did. The stats did. I need to run it back. I don't care about politics or rebel, but it makes me laugh that they gave Israel Adesanya a rematch to Alex Pereira after getting slept. And then I saw another tweet. Oh, here it is. And man, I don't want to pull this card, but when does the champ ever lose a close fight? When you're in Canada with a bunch of dirty effing leftists. He's never too far away from those kind of takes. And by the way, also coming up, we have a conspiracy corner with Brian. It's a good one today, I'm told. Listen, Sean's a very popular guy, but here's the thing. Yes, Israel Adesanya got a rematch, right, against Alex Pereira. There's been lots of fighters, champions that get rematches. The problem is that those champions were long-term champs, long-time champs. You know what I'm saying? That have defended the belt on a number of occasions. I don't know what Izzy was on, 5, 6 defenses, something like that. And generally, that's kind of the way it goes. When Amanda Nunes lost to Juliana Pena, boom, rematch. What else have we got? I mean, Alexander Volkanovski, Max Holloway, they fought 7,000 times, Davison Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno. What else are some of the other ones? Max Holloway, Jose Aldo, Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman.
Ran that right back, yeah.
Yeah.
But Valentina just got a run back.
Yeah.
Now she's getting a third fight, it looks like.
She's getting a third fight, and she's coaching the Ultimate Fighter as well, which you are obsessed about talking about. You keep putting that in the notes, and you just brought a sly way of bringing it up. I'm pumped for the Ultimate Fighter, but there's breaking news, Harrington. So I understand Sean's frustration. You know what I mean? He's been kind of quiet lately. Of course, he's been doing his thing on Twitter. He hasn't been very quiet on there. But in terms of actual fighting, calling out opponents, there hasn't been much of that. Yeah, he wants to run it back with Dricus. Dricus is going to fight Israel Adesanya, it looks like. Don't know when that's going to be, but some point in the summer, I would imagine. If you had to pick a fight for Strickland right now, who would you match him up with? And Brian, I'd love your take as well.
Well, I'm hearing some rumors about a possible dropout in a card in April. I sent that over. I just heard before the show started, so obviously not camera.
Really? I didn't see this in the notes.
I put it in the addendum that I sent later with the fight card.
What are you doing here? Are you making me read it so that?
No. I'll read it out. There's a rumor that Marvin Vettori is going to be out of his fight with Brendan Allen on April 6th. I mean, Sean Strickland, the guy is always in Vegas. He already has the win over Brendan Allen, and that's one that Brendan has been asking for again. You want to get a quick win, get yourself right back into title contention at the Apex where you're super comfortable fighting. Short notice, would love to see Sean Strickland step in there.
Yeah, and I'd actually like to see Brendan Allen and Sean Strickland go at it again. I guess the only problem for Sean in that regard, Brendan Allen's a formidable fighter. He's very, very good and he's improving all the time. It's not the kind of superstar name that I think people would want. And I also don't think, I'd be very surprised if they put Sean on at the Apex now. I think he's kind of that pay-per-view kind of star now. I really do.
That's a good point.
What I mean? He's got a massive, massive following. He's very polarizing, as equal as the amount of people love him. A lot of people hate him, but that's great. That results in revenue and people buying the fight. So I'd be very surprised if they put him at the Apex, but you never know.
I mean, does Robert Whittaker's coming off of a...
Yeah.
Let's see how he does against another top contender. And if he can beat Robert Whittaker, you get a title fight.
That is a really good shout, Brian. Who doesn't want to see that? I'd love to see Robert Whittaker and Sean Strickland. That'd be fantastic because let's see how we do against a Robert Whittaker. That's the real question. Do you know what I mean? Would his style work against a Robert Whittaker? I don't see why it wouldn't, but Robert is phenomenal. And against Paulo Costa, he looked like he was back to his old self, man. And he's pissed off as well. That's what I loved about it. Robert Whittaker, when I was speaking to him at the fighter meetings, and even when I did a little interview with him for my YouTube channel, he had an essence about him. Do you know what I mean? Like undertones of go yourself Bisping and everyone in the room the whole time. He had like a real chip on his shoulder. Do you know what I'm saying? And I guess that happens when you get knocked out and, you feel a little, I won't say embarrassed, but I guess as a fighter, he might feel embarrassed. Yeah. So it was good to see. And he fought like that as well. He fought a phenomenal fight against Costa. And yeah, in other news, Colby Covington, you must have seen this video by now. We'll play it in a minute, Brian, if you can. So Colby Covington is now calling out Ian Garry. After Ian Garry called out Colby Covington after winning his last fight, and rightly so, because let's be honest, if there's anybody on planet Earth with a reason to want to fight Colby Covington right now, it is Ian Garry. Need we remind ourselves that at the UFC 297, end of year, December, Las Vegas, the press conference, and everyone in here, put your hand up if you have effed Ian Garry's wife, right? That's pretty harsh, man. Do you know what I mean? I'm not standing here defending Ian Garry. I'm not standing here talking shit about Colby Covington, but I tell you what, that is the type of behavior that would result in an on-site kind of altercation. You know what I mean? Whether or not it's in an octagon or not. I mean, that's a low blow for anybody to say, right? I'm assuming you agree with that.
I mean, that's how Colby is, man. He's a blunt instrument. He's never been the most, eloquent trash talker, but he knows how to hit people where it hurts. So, and because of that, he habitually line steps way more than I think any other fighter does.
He's a habitual line stepper.
Yeah.
What is that a line from?
Step Brothers?
No, is it not Dave Chappelle?
Happy? Oh, yeah, it might be.
He's a habitual line stepper. Anyway, regardless of that, Brian, play the video because Colby went scorched earth on Ian Garry once again. I don't like playing this, but it is kind of shockingly entertaining.
Nerds and virgins, it's America's champ, the people's champ, Donald Trump's favorite fighter. We're in beautiful sunny South Florida. Most people, they work 60 years just to get a taste of the good life. This is what I live every day. We just shot 18 holes at Trump International, West Palm Beach. Now we're out here selling on 7 figures and salty nerd tears. Usually when you're out here, it's all about fishing. Everybody knows when you're going fishing, it's important to have the right bait. So let me teach you all a lesson about how you bait someone. Ian Garry, you translucid cuck. You wanted my attention? Now you got it. Everybody knows why you want to fight me, Ian. I'm the biggest star in the division. It's big city, bright lights, and the most attention and eyes you're ever going to have on you when it fight. But everybody knows, Ian, you missed your chance. You had your chance in December to step on the same stage as me and have a microphone and say whatever you want to say to me. But you were scared. You were scared of what I was going to say to you, and you got the sniffles, and you cried your way out. That was just a taste of what I could do to you, Ian. All I did was ask the 5,000 people in attendance how many people banged your wife. It's not my fault every single one of them rose their hand. If you're scared of that, Ian, if you're scared of words, what do you think it's going to be like when you step in a steel cage with chaos? You just went life and death with a guy that does this part-time and is a busboy Outback. Dude serves bloomin' onions for a living, and you went to a split decision with that guy? Now you want Donald Trump's favorite fighter? That's a big step up in competition, Junior. You're biting off more than you can chew. You know what? I'm a giving man. I'm a kind man. I like to give everyone a chance. So everybody knows, Ian, what's in it for you. But what's in it for me? Tell me, why do I gotta go down in the rankings to fight some Casper the Ghost looking Irish kid who has a gold digging wife? Let me teach you the art of the deal, Ian. Let's come to a compromise. If you can meet these 3 stipulations, we gotta fight. Stipulation number 1. You and that gold digging whore gotta turn your Instagram comments back on. And if you turn them off before the fight, you forfeit the fight. If you turn them off during fight week or after I beat your ass, you forfeit your purse. Stipulation number 2. Ian, we've heard you cry and beg on your knees, but we all know that you're not the boss and you don't wear the pants in the relationship. Layla, you got 60 seconds to convince me and the people why this fight needs to happen. So put your husband in the corner, get on your hands and knees, and beg. Now for stipulation number 3, my personal favorite. As you all might have noticed, something's been missing from my MyBookie promos lately. That's because I've been saving that spot for a special someone. Layla, you want to be a star? You want the spotlight? I got it for you, sweetie. You want your 15 seconds of fame, Layla? I'll give you your 15 seconds of fame right here for America's Pick of the Week. After I beat your husband, because that's a foregone conclusion, I will beat him. He's going to sit in the corner just like he does with all that cuck stuff you guys do, and he's going to watch while you get your 15 seconds of fame. Ball's in your court now, cuck boy. I'll have my lawyers draft up the papers. You got 24 hours to respond. We'll see if you're about.
Oh my God. I was just like having flashbacks and PTSD of how much I would be losing my mind. Jorge Rivera did a series of videos and I was in Australia, and every day I'd get out of bed and my mate Jacko would be there and I'd say, is there another video? And he'd be like, yeah, there is. And I'd lose my mind, and it was nowhere near anything as bad as that. I could only imagine what I would be doing. If Ian Garry is not on the phone, the moment he saw that and said, you better set that fight up. I mean, fair play to Colby. If that's what he wants, that's what he's gonna get. I'd be blown away if Ian Garry didn't say, give me that man. I want to punish him. I want to smash his face in. Now, you could argue maybe that's playing into Colby and giving him what he wants. Who gives a at that moment there, right now, disrespecting your wife like that in all three terms of it? I mean, my God, that's pretty excessive.
He's my favorite.
Oh, my God. Hold on. So Brian's favorites are Sean Strickland, Colby Covington. Who else?
Paul Acosta.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Who's coming on
Andrea
the show
Lee's
next Thursday,
husband.
I believe. Next week.
Thursday.
What do we think? What do you think about that, Harrington?
I mean, look, Colby, if there's one thing he can do, right? He can get me excited to see him fight, despite whatever the results in the cage may be, right? Coming out of that Leon Edwards fight, you'd be like, okay, well, that's the last time anyone ever pays actual hard-earned money to see Colby Covington fight. Nope. He got on Fox News, talked to everybody about how he was robbed by these lefty judges, how they don't like him because he's Trump's favorite fighter, et cetera, et cetera. Now he's got a picture-perfect call-out of a guy who is rising up the ranks in the division, a legitimate contender who has shown a weakness in the wrestling game where Colby does tend to thrive. So it's like, I don't know. I could not think of a more, hand-picked, manicured call-out for Colby, but it all lines up perfectly. And Ian has given him plenty of ammunition up to this point.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it makes sense for both men. For Ian Garry, it's the guy that just fought for the title in his last fight, so that's a good logical progression. Even though I said I'd like to see him fight MVP, that makes more sense career-wise for Ian Garry. And for Colby, again, you get to take out one of the rising up-and-coming stars. You get to prove that you're still in a position to be respected, that you've still got it. And more importantly, you get to erase the memory of that bad fight against Leon Edwards. Because let's be honest, it was a bad fight. He never showed up. You know what I mean? Apparently, it came out that he had a broken foot. Do we believe this? Did we see any x-rays? Do you believe that?
The x-rays they were posted, and it did look pretty bad. I'll try to find them.
Okay, yeah, please. Yeah, I did see like some kind of talk about an x-ray, but I never looked into it. So what, he probably kicked his elbow. Right? That happens a lot. Throw a kick, you hit the elbow, maybe he broke his foot, which is unfortunate and is a shame. But it's not really an excuse. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason for why maybe you didn't push the pace more or whatever. That said, it was only until rounds 4 and 5 when he had his best work. I think round 4 was his strongest round. So that kind of goes against that logic as well.
Also ended the fight on top of Leon Edwards. You know what I mean? Like that for the judges, at least as far as a visual goes, he ended a fight on top of the champion of the world. Seemingly, if there was unlimited time, Colby would have walked out of there with the win. So that does help visually.
No, visually for sure.
Are we looking at?
As you can see there, that's a big part of the foot, and it does look broken, and that's way up high on the foot as well. It's not one of the smaller metatarsals down there at the toe. So, yeah, I mean, no doubt it had an impact. It did, but as I say, going back to Ian Garry, Colby Covington, I would be very surprised. I would be shocked if that isn't even added to say UFC 301 going down in Brazil.
You can't send Colby back to Brazil, can you?
Send him down to Brazil. So you want to talk all that shit? You got to face. Oh my God, they'd have to have a security detail for him.
Yeah, 24/7.
Speaking of security detail, we never spoke about this. Brian, maybe you saw this as well. Let's have a three-way conversation. Who was it? Chael Sonnen last week in Miami. He did a video saying that he had to change hotels because of Jorge Masvidal, and they'd assigned him security because apparently Masvidal was out there speaking some threats. Did you see that?
I mean, he was in an unnamed hotel, different from the fighter hotel, with private security that he himself paid for and is sitting at the door watching at the ready 24/7. So I mean,
Yeah.
come on, dude.
Chael says a lot of things.
Yeah, Chael says whatever he needs to say at that moment. Like, because I do a YouTube channel, right? And every day I'll look up, see what's going on in the world of mixed martial arts. And some days there's just not a story. Do you know what I mean? And if you think hard enough and you get creative, you can think of something. I think Chael just says, "Okay, I've heard this from anonymous sources. Let's go."
Yeah.
Speaking of Masvidal versus Nate Diaz just got announced in a professional boxing match. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are I just watched Nate Diaz box and I never need to see that again. You know
I
what
was
I mean?
going to say, who wants to see it?
I mean, Torrey Masvidal boxing I want to see. I don't know about Nate.
I know. See, it's tricky, isn't it? I mean, Diaz came out last week as well, and he called out Francis Ngannou. Who was it? No, Anthony Joshua. Deontay Wilder. Who was the third?
I think it was Fury, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tyson Fury.
He said he would beat the shit out of all those dudes.
Yeah, I mean that's just delusional.
Come on, man.
Level. He didn't look good against Jake Paul. He's 38 years old. He seems to have lost a little bit of motivation. I mean, he's had some tremendous fights in the octagon. We don't need to remind everybody. You know, he's gangster as hell. You know, he's got that anti-authoritarian stance, which people love. But yeah, I'd favor Masvidal. My only issue with it, $79.99 the pay-per-view. That's pretty expensive. That's the same as a UFC.
It's $40 if you want to buy it right now, though, before the rest of the card gets filled out.
Who does that? You ever bought a pay-per-view in advance?
One time ever. It was for the Chuck Liddell versus Tito Ortiz 3, that special thing they did where they were it was special, Black Friday only. It was $15. And then I think they just put it out for free because nobody bought it.
Sucker.
Oh my God. So you got ripped off. Oh, geez. Poor old Chuck in that one. You know, I was there ringside for that. It was sad to see. It was sad to see. So we're going to do a conspiracy corner. We're going to wait for a little moment because Rebecca's just dropping Lucas off at school because I want to get her take on this as well because she's kind of involved in that stuff. So Harrington, what else is big in the world of MMA that we've got to get to right now?
So I think the two big things were Joshua saying that.
I tell you what. Let's do this. Let's talk about, and this is right in Brian's wheelhouse as well because I don't know too much.
I think I know where we're going.
It's number two about Boeing.
Okay.
Yeah, read it out to the believers so they can hear. But you're also telling me because I've seen it, but I haven't sat down and watched a full news segment. I haven't read up on it, but it is kind of wild. This.
Yeah. So a man who testified in a whistleblower case against Boeing was found dead in a vehicle in what police are calling a suicide. It's worth noting that in the last month, there have been multiple instances of either a crash or massive malfunctions on Boeing planes that required planes to be rerouted or returned to the airport that they took off from. He was a 63-year-old man, worked for the company for years, and it's the people who oversee and make sure that everything is up to standard. And in his whistleblower case, he was saying that Boeing would routinely tell him to pass planes that were not necessarily up to snuff so that they wouldn't have to have downtime and spend money on repairs and then lose money. They prioritized the stockholders' position over the safety of the American public. And, after he went in for his deposition to say all this, he then, met an untimely end.
Right. So that was the bit I was missing. So he's been in and been deposed. He said this stuff publicly. And he would then, the next step would be he would testify this at a trial, correct?
Right.
Because I was going to say, well, if he's already blown the whistle, what good would it be to essentially put a bullet in the man's head? But he was yet to testify at court.
Well, Mike,
right.
He had won the most prestigious award in journalism from the CIA, which is they kill you randomly.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Boeing is too deep into the military industrial complex for that not to have been a actual military op.
That's a really good point, Brian. I mean, you think about it, we think about Boeing and, Alaska Airlines, doors dropping off or whatever. In fact, it was on the news this morning. Another plane just had an issue, an American Airlines flight going somewhere.
The wheel fell off.
The wheel fell off?
Yeah, right after takeoff.
Oh, did it really? Jesus Christ. Is that what happened?
It is what happened.
Yeah,
There was also a story last week of a plane that caught on fire mid-flight and had to be returned back.
Oh,
to
the engine.
And the door blew off as well. But you know what? At what point, and I was just going to say, so we think of them as airline passenger planes, you know what I mean? But they're deep in bed with providing military aircraft for sure. So, you know, they probably know a few people that can do that, and they've certainly got the finances to do it. At what point do you think, like if you're going to go catch a plane today, because I know what my answer would be. If you had to go catch a plane and they said you're going to be flying on a Boeing aircraft, I'd still get on it.
Yeah, I mean, even with all this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, think about it, like the amount of flights that happen every single week. For us to be naming how this is now becoming a massive thing, and it's still only a once a week thing. I don't know. There's too many flights that leave just LaGuardia every day for me to think that I'm going to be the one guy this week who gets caught.
Still statistically the safest way to travel. Like more people fly and don't die than drive
statistically,
and
you're
don't die.
More likely to get killed on the way to the airport.
That's
which is true. No, but I'm saying, but at what point do you think that the masses are just going to say this? Because air travel is more expensive than it's ever been. It goes up all the time. It's insane. I was just looking at flights. Rebecca and Lucas, they're going to go to Malaysia, hopefully in the summer, to go see Rebecca's parents. Jesus Christ, you want to see the cost of the flights, man. It's insane. At what point do you think there'll be some pushback or ever?
Well, here's the thing. Companies like this don't disappear from bad PR or shit like that. They just change their name eventually. So we won't have Boeing anymore. We'll have whatever, a different airline that is the same company. Not airline, but airplane manufacturer. Yeah, exactly.
I'm just looking here. So we got Boeing, of course. There's Bombardier, Dassault Aviation, Airbus. Yeah, that's a big one. Airbus, Textron, Embraer, Cessna, Gulfstream Aerospace, Lockheed Martin. So there's a lot of other manufacturers. So it's not just Boeing. So Boeing, the airlines need to say, hey, no more Boeings.
I believe Boeing is Boeing and like Airbus are the two major suppliers for airlines. Everybody else kind of has like a specialized aircraft manufacturing setup. You know, like Lockheed Martin isn't building Dreamliners.
That's military stuff, isn't it? I believe.
Yeah, they're building jet engines and anti-gravity stuff. If you believe the tinfoil hats.
Anytime, are they really anti-gravity?
I mean, I've never seen it.
It's Airbus and Boeing.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anything else. Anyway, from one conspiracy corner to another conspiracy corner, I was waiting for Rebecca to be here for this one because she loves a bit of talk about the Royals. All right, let's talk about Sheath Underwear, the official underwear of the UFC and this podcast. I'm very lucky. Sheath has sent me multiple pairs of their underwear, and I do love them. They're very colorful, they're very stylish, but more importantly, they fit fantastically. They are super comfortable. And, well, number one, as I say, super comfortable, super stylish. Lucas has started stealing them as well. They are high quality. Okay, I still have some of my original pairs from when they used to sponsor the show a few years ago. And I only wear Sheath now. They are my go-to every single time. And the big thing with the Sheath underwear, of course, is the separate pouch, right? Which separates your balls from your penis and stops them chafing and being uncomfortable and getting wedged up and sticking between your leg and all the rest of it. And it keeps everything nice and cool and in one place. But more importantly, these are fantastic underwear. Okay. And they're very stylish. They are. I keep saying that. No one's going to see them because they are underwear. But when you walk around the house going for a piss in the morning, you're going to look good. You don't even feel them. They are very comfortable. So give them a try. You will not be disappointed by the way. They have a ton of products. They've got boxer briefs, base layers, women's wear. They have a whole range. So check it out by going to sheath.com, the official underwear of the UFC, by the way, and this podcast. And if you go to sheath.com and you use the code BELIEVE20, you get 20% off the order. One more time, sheath.com, promo code BELIEVE20 for 20% off. You're going to need to buy some new underwear. So get some good ones, get some comfortable ones, get some stylish ones, and support this podcast if you don't mind. Sheath.com, the code is BELIEVE20 for 20% off. All right, so from one conspiracy corner to another one. Brian, you sent me this video. You've probably seen this one doing the rounds. It's all over social media. It's all over the news. It's Kate Middleton, Princess Kate, with her children. Apparently, it was Photoshop, it was doctored, and people are starting to spread some conspiracies. I am still in the dark. Brian, play the video that you sent me because I'm a very busy man.
I've been watching this Kate Middleton conspiracy theory drama unfold kind of from the sidelines. I've been interested in watching it, but haven't been like that compelled by it since there are so many reasons that could explain what was happening that didn't seem like that outlandish. And then something happened today that like kind of blew my mind. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen by now that the Kensington Palace released a photo of Kate and her 3 kids that a lot of people kind of deemed as kind of sketchy. Like it looked like it was from a different season. Kate wasn't wearing a wedding ring. And it looked like there were a lot of photoshopped aspects of the image. Like the kids' fingers looked weird, all these kind of small things. And that's not necessarily that unusual. Like people have questioned Kensington Palace photos in the past, but then something happened that is truly unusual. What happened is the Associated Press, which had shared the photo, killed the photo, meaning that it basically withdrew its endorsement of the photo. And it sent an email out to clients saying that we will no longer be using the photo. And the explanation for why the AP would no longer be using that photo is, and I quote, "At closer inspection, it appears that the source has manipulated the image. No replacement photo will be sent." When you remember that Kensington Palace is the source, this is kind of crazy. At this point, it's only been several hours since that announcement, and at least 3 international pictures agencies have decided to withdraw the photo. This is a huge deal. I was like a little bit interested, and now I'm like, there's nothing else I can think about. Like, where is she? Why would they not share a picture of her at this point? The AP is literally saying that this photo has been doctored by Kensington Palace. They have legitimized that theory, and still Kensington Palace had no comment tonight. Like at this point, the conspiracy theory is so big that you have to assume that wherever Kate is, she actually can't come out and do a photo op, because if she could, there is no way that they wouldn't have her in front of the cameras. So that leaves a bunch of options, and none of them look that good. Anyways, this is a good time for me to ask you, if you have a theory about where she is or what's going on, please give it to me in the comment section below, and I would like your worst theories first.
Right, so Brian, this begs the question, because I have no issue with it at all. It's like, whatever, all right? So it was a photoshopped picture. Who cares? People do that. Apparently she did it herself, so they're saying, and by the way, I'm not standing here sticking up for the royals, right? That's not my position. I don't ever do that. What in your wild mind is going on, Brian?
Okay, you want to hear the craziest thing I can think of around this?
Yeah.
All right. So,
Not saying.
So King Charles has cancer, and he's doing he's on to home remedy stuff. So I don't know how well that's going, but he's taking weird teas from Tibet to try to cure his cancer at this point. So that's not good. I think they are trying to get Kate Middleton out because she's like this weird pseudo celebrity and not really, I don't know, why ever they kill Princess Diana.
Get to the point. What are you saying?
I'm saying that the government, the royal family is cleaning house.
Just say the words. You're saying that you think Kate Middleton has been murdered by the royal family or ties
or close associates of.
Brian, that is the craziest thing.
I don't necessarily think it. I'm just saying this is the craziest. This is the most wild thing I could put around it, is that the royal family is cleaning house because King Charles is on his way out and they want somebody else to be the queen. Or
she had a big argument. They had to put a picture out for whatever it was, International Women's Day or something like that, right? And she wasn't in the mood. She was pissed off. She's kind of looking a bit fat, looking a bit bloated. She didn't want to do it. So she said, let's just do this one. Here you go. I'll edit this one up. Boom. There you go. And it got caught. Or she's been murdered.
Or maybe Prince William is punching her in the face some. Maybe it's less serious than murder. Maybe she just has a black eye or two.
First of all, out of all the royals, I quite like Prince William. He's all right. Prince Harrington, I think we've lost your audio. Just say something.
No, he's here.
I'm here.
Oh, you're there. Yeah. I like Prince William. I don't think he's knocking her up, right? He has knocked her up, but I don't think he's giving her that way. Prince Harry, a bit of a douchebag. King Charles, I like King Charles. Long live the king. I don't think anyone's murdered, Brian. I really don't. I think you guys in your tinfoil hats are out of your mind.
It's just for fun.
I got a little devil's avocado. Spice this up.
Throw it in.
The founder of Scientology, his wife, Shelley Miscavige, hasn't been seen in 25 years or something like that, right?
Yeah, but that's
Is that in any way linked?
These are powerful men whose wives you just don't see anymore. They're just not allowed to see him.
Yeah, Scientology people.
Well, she lives on the boat.
Weird.
She lives on the Sea Org boat, apparently, Harrington.
Sure.
So that's why nobody meets Caesar, because she lives on the Sea Org
She's the
boat.
first one who got on the spaceship. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my God. I really thought this was going somewhere. I thought we had a good point. I thought we had a good argument. I thought you nailed it. You cracked the code.
What are any of these good arguments?
They're not good arguments.
There's always something. It's always something completely out of control.
To be fair, if this is kind of running away with itself and becoming like a huge story when really it's a non-story, the way to put this to bed would be just her go out and do a public appearance, or go on This Morning, it's a show in the UK or whatever. Put out a press release, do a little video.
India Today.
Hey, everyone, hey here. I just want to let you know everything's fine and dandy. Yeah, I was just, did a little amateur photoshopping. Oh, you guys called that one, didn't you? Oh, well, whatever.
Well,
I'll try better next time.
Well, India Today is reporting that Prince William may be banging her friend, so maybe she's just not around because she's super pissed.
Oh, well, if the Times of India say it, it must be true.
I'm just saying.
The Indian Times.
India Today. Get it right. Put some respect on their name.
Sorry. I apologize. The India Times and India Today. Rival organizations. Anyway, okay. Jesus Christ. I think we all feel a little bit dumber after that one. I'm sorry, Brian. Love you. Big fan. Love your work. You're fantastic at what you do.
Man, they can't all be home runs.
I'm sorry. You're right. They can't all be home runs. We needed Anthony Smith for that one. Jesus Christ. We got fights this weekend. Taito Avasa taking on Marcin Tybura. Best of luck to those guys. I'm commentating that one, so I can't give a pick. Love watching Bam Bam Tuivasa fight anytime, right? Brings it. Okay, struggled a little bit lately. He hasn't had the results that he was looking for. Same thing with Marcin Tybura. He fought Tom Aspinall last. So fair play to them one. Two big guys, love to throw down. Taito Avasa always puts on a show, win or lose. Very, very excited for that one. Harrington, real quick, who do you think wins that one?
I think Big Ty rights the ship. He's had one 3-fight losing streak before in the UFC. He then turned around, rattled off 5 straight wins, all by KO or TKO. His back's against the wall right now. Tai Tuivasa, very dangerous man with his back against the wall. And I just can't root for anybody who has a Fifth Element haircut.
Yeah. I don't know what that means or what you're referring to. I'm assuming it's a haircut, but
no, Tybura's new haircut. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, it's like I saw a meme saying when your credit card runs out of money halfway through the haircut or something. What was I going to say? I tell you what, this really upset me the other day. Marlon Chito Vera had an incredible fight last weekend. He came up short against Sugar Sean O'Malley, who was just phenomenal in every way. He was. But Marlon showed a lot of heart. Didn't even hit the canvas. Right? He's never surrounded in controversy. He's not an asshole. He's a loving family man. Does it all for his family. Went out there, went out on his shield, so to speak. Did not quit on himself. And then he gets home to find out that he's been burgled, that they have robbed his house. And it's just, imagine you're coming home, right? You put on a big fight. Granted, you could argue, well, he made a lot of money. Yeah, sure. But as a competitor, as a fighter, you get the chance at becoming champion of the world. And there's no other way to put it. You fail. You come up short. Yes, you could say he's still winning in life. And absolutely he is. But you're crushed. You're crushed inside, You come home and you walk in and some assholes have kicked your door in and burgled your house. And now I don't know the extent of how much they took or what they got. I hope it wasn't very much. But you got to think that these people knew that he was competing and they knew the house was going to be empty. Just like with Cyril Gane when he fought in Paris last year against Sergei Spivak. I think, was it Spivak?
I believe you're right about that, yes.
Yeah, whoever it was anyway. He gets home and he'd been robbed. Rolexes, jewelry, anything of value had been stolen. And I think it came out, maybe it was someone in his team or something. But you got to think it's somebody that knows where he lives and knows that he's fighting.
The flip side of it is, you said yourself, right? He made a ton of money he was out there making a lot of money in Miami for the fight, whatever. You lose that sense of security, right? All that money that you made, what does it matter if anytime I leave my house, that could all be taken away from me? All that blood, sweat, and tears, the hard work that I just put in, let's say that goes to, repairing a couple things in the house, getting a couple of nice like a watch that I could look at as an investment down the line. That gets taken. It's like, that messes with your sense of security and safety in your own home, which is, that's kind of sanctity you just don't break for a man.
Yeah, no, it is. And especially for his wife or girlfriend, I'm not sure if they're married, the mother of his children, regardless, they're not going to feel the same. You feel kind of violated, that people have broken into your house. But it's happening a lot. I spoke about it recently. A good friend of mine flew out to Hawaii on Thanksgiving, landed 3 hours later, had to fly home because a Chilean gang that are all coming over the border now, and I'm not trying to get political, but this is just the facts of the matter, had robbed his house. And I kind of said then, I said, I think that's someone you know. How did they know that you were gone? Within hours, they'd robbed your house. They'd ripped the safe out of his wall. They'd gone through the entire house, trashed it to pieces. One of my neighbors across the street, check this out. So when I came here, I'm not going into too much detail. But same thing. A neighbor, they jumped over the fence, robbed his house, and police said it's these Chilean gangs. He said it's the immigrants coming over the border, and there is so many of them coming over, and these are desperate people. I'm not justifying their actions. If you got to feed your family or whatever the case may be, you're going to resort to some nasty shit. But this is the real life consequences that people are having to put up with. Now, I don't know if that's the fact with Cheeto, but it's disgusting, man. If that was somebody he knew, that is the lowest of the low.
Well, I mean, it could be just about anyone. It could be
are you muting yourself? Is that what's going on? I see.
Yeah. Okay. It could be your FedEx driver. You know what I mean? Like it could be literally anybody who knows you. As soon as they recognize you as, oh, that's Cheeto Vera, right? And now his face is on the poster for every one of these fights. They know he's going to be in Miami, and they know pretty much every loved one he's got is going to be there with him. It's, you are putting a massive target on your back as long as someone knows where you live. But it's like, what's the alternative? Do you go the Chael Sonnen route and literally hire the private security to watch your house while you're on vacation? That feels messed up. That's like a messed up expense that you would have to take on to just go and win a prize fight.
Well, a pretty cheap alternative would be, I don't know what a Ring camera costs, $49.99. Do you know what I mean? They're not much. Just get a bunch of Ring cameras, get some security. Do you know what I'm saying? And you can even get it on your phone. Rebecca, anywhere we go, she's always getting notifications. You can see there's someone at the door, someone coming in. Have one on your front, one at the back, one at the side. Ring cameras all over the place. We had to join what I would call the dark side. We had to get some guns, man. We had to do it.
Yeah?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Well, we had
Welcome to America.
Well, no,
now you're a real patriot.
Well, because I said to Rebecca, I said, let's be honest. I said, people know when I'm out of town. I'm commentating the UFC in Australia or wherever I am. I said, and they know you're at home by yourself. You know what I mean? So if somebody comes through that door, what are you going to do? Fight them off? Do you know what I mean?
They don't know if Callum's there or not.
Callum is always there.
Callum's a big motherfucker too.
Just so you all know, he is always there. He's very big and he's very strong. And he throws me around like a piece of shit. So yeah, we had to get the yippee-ki-yays in. We had to get the pow-pow. So fucking come at your own. Fucking give it a try, bro. Give it a try. Rebecca's just dying to put a bullet in someone's head. It's a joke, by the way. So yeah. Anyway, Cheeto, we feel for you, man. It's a real kick in the bollocks. It's a real kick in the bollocks after you go through what he went through and to come on and for that to happen. It really is. All right, before we wrap this up, we do have Muhammad Mokaev joining us in a little bit. But before we wrap it up, is there any breaking news, anything we need to get to?
Nothing, though. I'll check for breaking, but I don't think, nothing's come across my desk.
Yeah, okay. Corey Sandhagen and Aljamain Sterling took the kick a man while he's down route and blasted Cheeto for his performance. I guess we're staying on Cheeto. What is this? Is this a video, Harrington?
Yeah, so Corey Sandhagen put out a video. It was pretty dismissive of Cheeto's skills. And then Aljamain Sterling quote tweeted it and was like, "See, I've been telling you, Cheeto really is not that guy." So it's a couple of guys talking some smack.
Yeah.
Today, O'Malley versus Cheeto. Cheeto obviously had no business being in the cage with O'Malley. Really tough showing by Cheeto. Awesome performance by O'Malley. Got to give the guy all the credit in the world. although he was fighting like a homeless-looking Cheeto. So, okay, all right. I'm going to try to spend this whole breakdown not shitting on Cheeto the whole time, but it's probably going to turn into me shitting on Cheeto the whole time. That fight really frustrated me because it was, one, just unbelievably uncompetitive. Two, I feel like a dummy for thinking that Cheeto was going to do better because that's almost literally what all of his fights look like unless he gets some type of knockout. And three, I just think that it's not that cool that Cheeto even got that opportunity to begin with, because like I said, that's what we all should have seen coming. I don't know why I bought into the Cheeto hype. That was really stupid of me. Okay, you be dumb Cheeto. You're about like 4 months away from like your hair and your beard being about as ugly as Cheeto's, by the way.
I just start changing hair.
Good on O'Malley. Other than that, Cheeto is pretty much just a punching bag. Cheeto doesn't move like this very well. He was just absolutely styling on him because Cheeto, one, isn't that good. Hate to say it if you're a Cheeto fan, but he's not that good. And then that sounded really mean, but it's kind of true. Agree with me. Agree with me.
All right. I've seen enough of that. I don't like to kick a man while he's down, and Cheeto is down in more ways than one because of these robbing arseholes. They're in the same weight class. Corey Sandhagen actually has a dominant victory over Cheeto, so he doesn't really benefit from taking that stance and doing that video. I know he's probably trying to be a little bit funny. He's trying to be comical. He's doing a YouTube breakdown or whatever, but there's no need to be quite so harsh. But as I say, they're in the same weight class. So, he does have a victory over him, but you can't say that Cheeto's not good. He's got a record of 23-9. Right? He lost to O'Malley and Corey Sandhagen. In between that, he's beaten Pedro Munoz, knocked out Dominic Cruz, beaten Rob Font, knocked out Frankie Edgar, Davey Grant. Got a win over Sean O'Malley the first time round. He's had some incredible performances inside the octagon. But hey, this is what they do. I think from Sandhagen, what he's trying to do there is more disparage O'Malley's performance. I think subconsciously that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to say, hey, listen, what O'Malley did wasn't that impressive because Cheeto wasn't very good, which I think is a roundabout way of him talking shit on O'Malley and trying to get that fight. Reality is Sandhagen should probably be next. Or Merab, or Umar. You're saying Merab?
It's definitely Merab. Merab is the one the fans want to see. He's the one that people have gotten behind. From the moment he put on Sean's jacket and did that whole spectacle, it has been the Merab show. He's been on an uptick in popularity, and you saw the fan response for him when he came out just for the ceremonial weigh-ins, as a backup fighter for this thing. People were going crazy for Merab. It's definitely Merab.
Okay. All right. I'll concede that one. I will agree. What?
Sandhagen is really, it frustrates me because as an analyst before that fight, he was the one who was coming out being like, oh yeah, this is going to be the Cheeto show. Cheeto's going to look great. So it's like you then doing a video afterwards where you're like, oh yeah, I was completely wrong and blowing hot air about the Cheeto thing. It makes you look dumb as an analyst. So knock that off, dude.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Hamilton's all fired up.
Yeah. Don't come at Cheeto after he lost the fight. Yeah. Well, you were injured or it would have been you maybe.
Yeah. No. Listen. Yeah. I 100% agree with you, and it's bullshit. You know what I mean? Cheeto's a solid guy. He's a great human being. He went out there, he didn't get the job done. So what? There's no need to be talking so much shit. But as I said originally, they're in the same weight class, and they have fought. And I don't know if anything went on afterwards. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Regardless, they can settle inside an octagon again. That's just the way it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by the one and only Mo Rogan.
How are you, Mike? Uncle Mike.
Mate. Don't call me uncle. Makes me sound old, although I do love it because it's a term of endearment. What's up, brother? How you been?
I'm good. Just going to training later. We train late because Ramadan now. We train like 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m. every day,
Let me ask you about that Ramadan. So I know it lasts for 40 days. Is that correct? Or am I thinking
30 days.
30 days. Yeah. And what are the actual rules with the fasting?
Basically, we eat between like sunrise and sunset. So we can eat. But before that...
Do you know what I mean? Between sunrise and sunset, you can eat?
Yeah, so like...
That's a full day.
So between 6:20 p.m. and then 4:50 a.m. basically, like around roughly every day. It changes by like 10 minutes, 8 minutes. But basically no water, no food, nothing.
Oh, so during the day, no food, no water.
Yeah,
but in the evening, it's okay. Is there any kind of restrictions in the evening, or is it whatever you fancy?
Go crazy.
Go crazy. So all these fighters that say I'm not eating because it's Ramadan, I'm not training because it's Ramadan, they're full of shit. You can still stuff yourself at night.
Of course, I train sometimes. Some guys in Dagestan, they train before they break the fast. I like to train when I'm hydrated, you know. When I'm hydrated, ready to go in the. So depends what goals you have. You work
no, of course,
out
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It's good.
It's good to see you, man. So you got the professional setup now. I texted Muhammad Mokaev and welcome to the show and thank you for your time, Mo. So I texted him. I said, because you put on Twitter, you got a nice little setup now. You got the headphones, you got the microphone. Yeah. I said, hey, can you come and join the podcast, test out your new setup? He says, yeah, don't worry. Mo Rogan will be there.
Mighty Mouse Jr.
Mighty Mouse Jr. Oh, yeah, that's right. He's doing a lot of it now. He's good as well. Tell me about your last fight, Muhammad, and congratulations, by the way.
Thank you, Mike. Last fight, I feel I've done good. You know, victory is a victory for me. Of course, I want to finish. I want to do more like ground and pound. I think I've done. I hurt him in the middle of the round. His coach said I hurt him with the knee to the body, but I didn't see it. You know, and my corner told me like to wrestle second round, but. I don't know, Mike. I don't know. I think I could finish him even on stand up too, but I don't know, man. I had a big cut like 10 days before the fight. They took stitches out 2 days before the fight, so I didn't want to risk to stand bang and bang. Maybe they stop the fight too, you know.
Yeah, no, of course. Listen, Mo, Alex Perez is a tough guy. He's been around a long time, so. It was a pretty clear-cut victory. You know, you didn't get the stoppage, but so what? Who cares? You got the win. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
You're 12-0, right? Undefeated. Big things. I know you've been calling out Brandon Royval. Is that correct? I know you were talking about maybe fighting for the belt, but you fancy a go at Royval?
You know, situation with the belt right now, like Manuel Capel fighting Matheus Nicolau, 27th of April. Albazi is injured till end of the year. I asked for Albazi straight away after the fight. But they said he's injured till end of the year. So at the moment, it's hard situation with division. Manuel Capel fighting Matheus Nicolau. Royval lost twice to the champion, and I'm like the Steven Irsig. They're talking about maybe he will fight, but the guy is just came to the division, you know. And I know he had like a finish last fight, but he had also 2 decisions and one finish, so it doesn't make him to step above me. If you understand what I mean. I don't want to sound like arrogant. I deserve but I'm 6-0 after Demetrius Johnson's second most fight winning streak, active winning streak right now in the division. And I said I'm ready to go in 10 weeks, even though I have a Ramadan and stuff. I'm putting my undefeated record, putting my name in front with the big risk to fight with the champion, and I have trained with him in the past, and I don't know why the UFC don't give me this opportunity.
And this is crazy, Mo, because you've done all that stuff. You've had 6 wins in the UFC. Yeah. You're 23 years old. 23 years old. I mean, you must be very proud of yourself. Are you proud of what you've accomplished? Not to mention your wrestling pedigree, everything you did in the amateurs, and now as a professional, undefeated, flying high.
I'm happy that I just changed my life, I can help my friends, my family. You know, I change as a human myself. That's the first thing. Like put UFC aside. I'm happy that who I am today. I don't believe I changed because I still have same friends what I had when I was in wrestling career, when I had like no money. Basically, I have same people in my team. I don't have yes men around me. I have real people, and like title, I think it will come, but I don't know why they're slowing me down, like saying the last fight wasn't excited. I don't know what they expect me to do at the 23. The last guys who I beat, Tim Elliott and Alex Perez, both top 10, both fight for the title before, and and what they want me to do, to come and kill them inside the cage. I don't know. I'm like, of course, 10 years younger than them, but UFC want excitement. I don't know what kind of excitement, you know?
Yeah, but this is like kind of what I messaged you, because I said, don't rush it. There's no rush for you, Mo. You're 23 years old. And the more you fight, the more you improve, right? You're still only 23. You're still a baby. And I mean that with respect. I don't mean to be insulting. You're a very young man. And you've got so long ahead of you. And I'm not saying you would rush, because you deserve it, right? You've had 6 wins. For a lot of people, 6 wins in a row, you probably might find yourself getting a title fight. But if you were to get that and lose, and I'm not saying you would lose, but if you did, then you kind of go back to square one again. You know what I'm saying? So there's no rush for you, Mo. And I thought, because I was like, because your wrestling's phenomenal, your jiu-jitsu's great. And I said to you, maybe just take a bit of time and work on your striking. And I wasn't saying that as an insult or whatever. I said, just work on your craft. And you never responded to that one. And I was like, oh shit, I've offended him.
No, I really respect this, Mike. I think that's why I was working on my last camp, to be honest. And I think I threw in this fight more strikes than actually my last 5 fights.
There you go. It's all coming together.
I throw more strikes in one round against Alex Perez than my last 5 fights. So I actually been working. I know this is my something that I'm missing in my game. Maybe believing in my striking. I think I need more sparring. I did for this camp, and like you said, there's a risk to lose. That's why when I said to UFC, I'm ready to put this my undefeated record on the table against Pantoja. I think they should have respected that more, if you know what I mean. Because I never asked UFC to give me like easy opponent. I came to UFC, like I had debut against Cody Durden, who was like who had good run in the UFC, you know. So I never asked for easy opponent to give me like I don't want to mention names, but there's some younger guys in UFC who they try to feed up, you know, like give them easy opponents to build their name, make them a star. And I never chose that. I never choose this way. I always call out big names.
Yeah. Well, it'll all pay off in the end, because whether or not they give you the big names, if they don't give you the big names, the skill set that you have is a very, very difficult one to beat, Mo. So just keep doing your thing. Do you go to a boxing gym at all? If I was you, if I was managing you, I'd say you need to go find an amateur boxing club and just work with those guys in there. Because if you can get your boxing up to the level of everything else that you do, bro, you would be unstoppable.
I think it's
you are pretty much unstoppable. You're undefeated.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to add to next camp. I was going when I was amateur, going to Champs Camp in Manchester. And then I stopped. I start going to Dagestan more and doing my wrestling. Whereas in Dagestan, there's no high level of striking. You know, I think Manchester would be better for boxing. But I start grappling a lot, and then I just thinking in my mind like, why I just can't grapple these guys. I know UFC fans don't like this, but who cares? I'm undefeated. You know.
There you go. How often do you go back to Dagestan?
I'm going now in 10 days. I'm just waiting for my Russian visa. And I just want to go there, and then even if UFC still call me for the title, I'm ready to go, Michael.
What is it like in Dagestan? For a man that's never been there, how would you describe it?
It's a chill place. People like in the coffee shop till like 3 a.m.
Oh, really?
You know, like the city is always like busy. This capital city of Dagestan, Makhachkala. And wrestling gyms like packed, like maybe like 100 people in every single gym, like many sparring partners. You ask coach to look after, he helps, comes around. There's like Olympic champions on the mats with your world champions. There's so many talent there, you know, so many talent. Like I sometimes I pick like 17 years old, 18 years old guys to not get injured, but make me work, you know.
Yeah. Is Makhachkala, is it a big place? Is it like kind of like a built-up city? Because I don't know why, because I saw a little feature and it showed them like there was like these caves and stuff.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I must have. It was like some feature. And they were like,
is it Caspian Sea, 500 kilometers? Like there's like a summit place now, because like Russian people cannot travel to other countries because of restrictions now everybody come to Dagestan, you know, and a lot of tourists, a lot of people welcome people from even from abroad coming over, and I think it's start growing and people stop being scared to go there. I think because of us athletes like representing the place.
What happens if one Dagestani guy is hanging out with the boys, but he doesn't wrestle? Are they like, what the is your problem, bro?
I think everybody wrestles in Dagestan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It seems like, is it just a foregone conclusion? If you grow up as a young man in Dagestan, you're going to wrestle.
100%. 100%. You know, like a football in England.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if Dagestan guy like start football, it's not in his boot. He never be good football. You hear anyone like it's hard to be football player from Dagestan. You know, we had good team. I don't know if you remember. If you watch football, do you watch football or not?
I mean, listen, you're saying that all kids grow up playing football in England. I didn't grow up playing football because I was shit. Okay. I was terrible.
Me too.
I had too much fun. Yes, I was like, stick this game up your ass. I'm not interested. What was the name of the team?
Anji Makhachkala. They play against Liverpool. They beat Liverpool. They had like some good players, like in Europe League. Like a multimillionaire was sponsoring the team, and they just fell down.
Did Khabib potentially get offered a contract for a high-level team?
I heard this too, but I'm not sure. He's not bad at football. I watch his skills, but he's a big guy. Imagine he's running at you. Of course, they give him ball.
Of course they do. Harrington's got some questions for you, but I know there's one, and I was kind of interested in this myself. Somebody on Twitter said, because we put a tweet out saying Mo's joining us, any questions for him? Mm-hmm. And somebody said, how come you walk out with the Union Jack as opposed to the St. George's Cross? Because most fighters come out with the St. George's Cross. I always came out with the Union Jack. Is there a reason to that, Mo?
You know, I didn't born in England, so I cannot separate there's like all UK. I hold a British passport, right? So I'm not at this spot to separate what's inside there, like Britain. So I just represent the whole Britain. I don't want to be like I'm from England, you're from Wales, and separate. Yeah. I'm representing whole United Kingdom. I grew up here. The people give me support. I had like Scottish, for example, coaches in GB team, like Welsh guys. Like I cannot just. I'm not in this position, you know. Like I just what passport I hold, I represent the place.
Well, that is a beautiful answer. It really is. Yeah. Harrington, and I hope he has a microphone this time. Harrington, are you there?
I am here, sir.
What are the best questions from Twitter? And Mo, if he has some absolute nonsense, I apologize.
So believe it or not, that was the biggest one that came through the Twitter. But I had one personally. I hope that's allowed. I saw a tweet that you put out over the weekend where you listed the top 5 UK MMA fighters. The list from top to bottom was Tom Aspinall, Brendan Loughnane, Leon Edwards, Brad Pickett, and then at the very bottom, Michael Bisping. So I was wondering if that was if that was in order.
I'm the last.
What is that about?
I'm the last on the list.
You make problem now. You make problem. No, I didn't. You know, some people message saying like, why you do this? But Leon Edwards is a champion, so I didn't even have it in mind. So I was thinking, I'm
offended. I'm offended.
Okay, brother. Stay strong, brother.
Christ. Oh dear. Don't be silly, Harrington. He's trying to talk shit. He's trying to stir the pot there, trying to make some problems.
Stirring this shit, brother.
Yeah, exactly. So, dream fight for you right now, Alejandro Pantoja. What do you make of him? When you look at him, he's very good. He's very aggressive, great jiu-jitsu. How would you beat this guy?
I think he's a bully fighter. In my opinion, he's a bully fighter.
Boring or a bully?
No, bully.
Bully.
Yeah, he's a bully fighter. If you watch his fight against, for example, Alex Perez, and he comes out always like first 15 seconds, they try to pressure you, break you. If you break, he will finish you. If you don't break, he slow down in 4th, 5th round. That's in my mind how I watch him. And any like bully person, I don't try to offend him, but he's like, he works with like ego experience that like he's been in division so long. He just tried to walk past saying like you just come up like I heard his injury. He said he can have Isig and me on the same day. I'm like, yeah, I have trained with you in the past, so you definitely, having me same day with Isig, and our training is a training, but he knows I'm not walkover, And
so how did the training go?
Training is we went very close. We went very very close together, and it was after Cody Durden's fight. I went to America to train, and he see me as a potential opponent, so we didn't do much as he sees the competition going in the training. So I think he's a bully fighter, but I can handle myself in the tough challenges inside the cage. I can go into deep waters. I think people seen this already. I can go like any deep water, like whatever happens in the cage, I can work out inside. So I think me versus Pantoja will be like just like whoever dies inside the cage.
That is a good assessment, though. That's kind of his style. He does. He tries to break you. Often people like him, if they can't break you, they kind of fold themselves. But he has shown, certainly that fight with Brandon Moreno that went 5 rounds, he kept a good pace there. But I understand what you're saying, though. I understand what you're saying. So, next fight, what are we saying? When's that going to be?
UFC Manchester, I heard is coming in July.
Oh, really?
I heard. It's not announced yet. Don't get me in trouble.
Don't get me in trouble. No.
So the Saudi card in June, the charging
Saudi in June, yeah.
Putting me on Saudi, but I'd rather fight in Manchester. I don't care about fighting Saudi.
Saudi Arabia would be cool though. Did you catch Francis Ngannou and Anthony Joshua last week?
I just watched the highlights. Just knockout, that's it.
Yeah. The highlights were about as long as the fight. So, Mo, I'm going to let you go, brother. As always, I appreciate your time, man. Are you in the content creation game now? You doing a little YouTubing and stuff?
To be honest, I started, but not much. I'm competing this weekend in jiu-jitsu competition. I just want to and then next week I want to compete next weekend as well before I go to Dagestan. I just want to stay busy, stay active with fans, keep my name out there.
See, that's what people don't realize. You know what I mean? That's what you got to do, what you're doing. We were just talking to Tom Aspinall before. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? You got to stay humble, keep working hard, and then everything else comes along. All the good things will happen, but you got to stay focused, which of course you are, and stay humble, which of course you are. I love talking to you, Mo. You're a hilarious little bastard. I'll never forget when you hit Callum's shoes. That was the best.
Say hello to Callum too.
I will. I'll say hi to him from you. Mo, you're a good man. Thank you for your time. I'll see you soon, brother.
Thank you, Mike. Always good to see you, brother.
My man, Mo. Right, this episode is sponsored by FitBod, and FitBod is a fantastic app that you need in your life. If you don't know what you're doing at the gym, if you're bored of your old routine, if you're hitting plateaus, if you just don't have time to get to a gym, but you want to work out and you haven't got equipment, FitBod is here to save the day. FitBod is the app that you just download on your phone, and it will give you an amazing workout routine. You just put in the kind of equipment available to you where you are. You're in the garage, you're in the park, you're in a full gym, regardless of what it is, and it will design a workout for you. It adapts as you improve. So every workout will be challenging and push you to make progress. FitBod also tracks all your recovery so you can avoid burnout and keep up your momentum. And it is fine-tuned by experienced certified personal trainers to bring the best practices and exercise science to you. And you get to learn everything the correct way because there is over 1,000 high-definition videos, so you're going to have the correct form. You're not going to injure yourself. And more importantly, now you've got no excuse. What are you waiting for? Because guess what? For less than one session with a personal trainer, you are going to get access to an entire year with FitBod, okay? Add FitBod to your workout essentials. Join FitBod today and get your personalized workout plan. Get 25% off your subscription or try it out for free. Try it out for free at fitbod.me/believe. Okay, if you have a question, please send that in to bympod@gmail.com.
And if you're listening on Spotify or wherever you find podcasts, make sure to subscribe. Leave us a 5-star rating, positive review. It really helps out on those platforms. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to find out whenever a new video drops. And if you want to catch over 500 episodes, you can't find anywhere else, completely ad-free and totally uncensored, head to gasdigital.com. Use the promo code BYM14. Get a 2-week free trial. Check out over 20 great shows on the network.
All right. Today, our first question is from
You need to put
Uriel.
that phone on silence, bro.
I know, man. It's
all I ever hear. Marsh pits.
People are trying to get in touch with me a lot. All right, here is Uriel.
Oh, look at this.
Hey, Believe You Me podcast. So this is Uriel from Tijuana, Mexico, murder capital of the world. So my question is, what's the best secret you have kept within the company, be it a fight announcement, rule changes, an event, or something like that? Did you never mention it anywhere, that when it got announced, you didn't even act surprised because you already knew it? So yeah, that's my question. Chinga tu madre, Harrington, in Spanish, which is nearly you, and the equivalent in English. And also you, Brian, because you never play my questions when I send them. Anyways, that's it. Hope you answer my question, and peace out.
Well, thank you very much for the question. Was that piercing your ears a little bit? Was a little tinny?
Yeah, a little. We could work on his sound quality for sure.
I think maybe my headphones, maybe need an update. I don't know. That's a weird and hard question to ask. What is the one secret I had within the company that I kept to myself and then pretended I didn't know it afterwards? Fortunately for me, because I have got a mouth that doesn't know when to shut up, they don't tell me things. They don't tell me things, you know what I mean? Because I do a podcast and I'm always talking about stuff and shit just pops out. And I prefer it like that. But all jokes aside, I'm on the inside.
Did you know
those kind of questions?
All right, forget it then.
Go on. What were we going to say?
I was just going to ask if you knew about Brock at 200 before that was announced.
No, I didn't. I was fighting at UFC 199. I had my hands full. I wasn't paying any attention to anything else. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Yeah. Brian, we got one more. Sorry, and thank you for the question, buddy, but I don't really know about that one.
So, I mean, just to make a note, this is...
Yeah, should we just leave questions then?
I have one more.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
Yeah, but just to make a note, maybe that's why I haven't been playing your questions, guy.
Oh, I thought you were... sorry, where you were going then? I thought you were going to say, the questions are all crap. So I was just going to say, should we just not do questions and edit that bit out? But I like the comeback. Maybe that's why.
I've been getting heat since you said it's my fault. I've been getting heat in the DMs. And some dude hit me up the other day and was like, oh, are you going to do me dirty again? Or are you going to play a question? And I sent my response to you guys in the group chat. And I was just like, well, you didn't ask a question. You just talk shit. Like, a lot of people just send in shit to just be on the show. Just have an interesting question and send it in.
Have an interesting question. Have a personality. Get your shit together. Send it into bywmpod@gmail.com. We got one more, though?
Yeah, and keep it under a minute.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, VBM crew? Martin here from Czech Republic. Huge long-time fan. Right now calling you from Germany. My question is about fighting and martial art demonstrations. We all know those breaking planks and breaking ice with those almighty karate strikes, hitting pads with your trainer to make yourself look fast and powerful. Do you guys think, is it possible to make those demonstrations look accurate? To actually accurately represent the martial art or the artist? Is it possible, do you think? If so, then how? Is it something that it would be desirable if someone would even want something like that to make it look accurate? And personally, you, Anthony, and Michael, what would you guys prefer? To make it look good or to make it look accurate? Thanks in advance for I'm sure it's going to be a great answer. Again, love the show. Keep doing what you're doing, please. Can't wait for the next one.
Shout out to the Czech Republic and the people of Germany as well. Guten Tag.
He's a different kind of German than Roland.
Yeah, no, he certainly is. So what was he asking? About martial art demonstrations, right? I got that part. But what was the actual question?
So he was saying, like, a lot of them try to look flashy and do, like, the breaking of blocks and stuff. Do you think it would be more beneficial to the martial artist to show an accurate representation of their skills versus, like, just trying to wow a crowd with how many bricks you can break?
Yeah, but it's a demonstration. You have to make it look watchable. You have to make it interesting. You know what I mean? Well, if it's not interesting, nobody's going to watch. You know, typically it'll be like some village fair, or like in England, included, we used to have telethon once a year, or we'd have like the yearly fair or whatever. When I was a kid, my jiu-jitsu club that I was with, Japanese jiu-jitsu, we'd go and do demonstrations every year, you know, and I was always a part of them. Do you know what I mean? And you make it look good. The two signature things that I was always the dummy. I think I've spoke about this before, but yeah. So there was two things they used to do. They used the sensei, he'd put an apple on top of my head, right? I'd stand there with an apple on top of my head. He'd do a little demonstration with the nunchucks and then smash the apple off the top of my head, and the apple would obliterate, right?
Where's the nunchuck element in jiu-jitsu?
Japanese jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, there's weapons?
Oh, Japanese jiu-jitsu is a sick martial art. Yeah.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, swords, bow, sticks. I'm a badass with a bow. You give me a piece of wood, you give me a mop handle, I'll spin it around like a...
You're a bodass.
I'm a bodass. Yeah, it does everything. You do throws, locks, submissions, strikes, you name it. But there's a little bit of element with the samurai swords and stuff as well. Yeah, so we do that, and then the other thing we do at the demonstrations, I'd do a handstand, right? And two people would hold my legs wide apart, and then they put a cucumber on top of my balls, and then they would half the cucumber with the samurai sword. And I had blind confidence in the dipshit that was doing it. I never once questioned the safety of these things. Do you know what I mean? I did not have a cup on. I didn't have anything on. I'm a little 11-year-old todger beneath my gi pants, and that was it, and a cucumber on top of it. He's coming down with a katana, chops it in half fast as well. And then again, you know, wooden nunchucks and just blasting an apple off my head. Imagine if you miss, right in the head. It's weird. You just have blind faith as a child. You don't understand the danger. Do you know what I mean? Granted, nothing ever went wrong, but it could have done. I could have lost my penis.
Right.
It could
At
have
the very least, you could be circumcised.
I'd have no Callum, no Lucas, no Ellie. Certainly have no Rebecca. I don't think she wants a dickless husband. Do you know what I mean? So, Jesus Christ, thanks for the question. Yeah, martial arts. I love it, though. I do. I want to get back into some traditional martial arts for the weapon side of stuff, just for a bit of fun. You know what I mean? I might do that. A little bit of a hobby. Anyway, thanks for watching the show. That's it. That's all we've got time for. Next week, we have Paulo Costa, I believe. We also have, who else we have?
Bo Nickel,
Paulo Costa. The week after, we've got guests lined up, coming in thick and fast. Monday, we have Anthony Smith. And I might get Michael Venom Page on as well. Let's get him on. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you Monday. You guys take care.